Welcome to Rock Your Talk. I'm Leisa Reid. I have the lovely Jeanne Gormick with us today. Hello, Jeanne.
Hi, Lisa.
A little bit about Rock Your Talk show. I'm the founder of Get Speaking Gigs Now, where I help speakers learn how to get booked, stay booked, and of course, attract their ideal clients through speaking. And I also have the honor of being a trainer and speaker for Productive Learning, productivelearning.com, where we really help you learn how to live from choice. You talk about how to change your thinking. We have a workshop on new thinking for new actions, things like that. So if you're wondering, how do I change those beliefs? How do I shift that? How do I shift that belief and really harness the power of your thinking? Then you can check out productivelearning.com and see all the goodies that we have there for you. Meanwhile, today at Rock Your Talk, we talk to experts who have really some expertise in all kinds of areas. And today, Jeanne is going to be talking about when you're a parent, but you're staying at home now, and that may be something you've been doing for a while, or it may be a sudden change that you've had due to our current situation. So Jeanne, would you mind telling our guests a little bit about you?
Sure. Actually, I do have a full-time job, but I've been working from home. But way back when, I was a stay-at-home mom, and I also had a business in my home. I had a PR business, a PR company. And so I've done both, and I know the difficulties with stay-at-home parenthood, but now I'm here to help, especially the ones that didn't expect that they would ever be a stay-at-home mom
I think
or
people
dad.
can really appreciate that, because you get thrown a pretty big curveball when all of a sudden you're the teacher and you are not ever intending to be, right, a teacher, and then having to balance that with your other responsibilities can be tricky. So I'm excited to hear your tips. I know you have, what's your first tip you wanted to share with us today?
You know what? It has to be organized. It's so important. And the best way to describe that is, if you did have a job and you had to be organized on your job, you had to have goals and you had to get things accomplished. Or maybe when you were in college, you had to be organized enough to get your college class. Oh, bless you. Anyway, so organization is very important. And something that I found on another facet of my business was I work with very accomplished business women, and they were having trouble with motivation during this COVID thing. And it's so important to establish a routine for your family, maybe not even so much for you and your husband, but for your children. Mm-hmm. Children need a routine. And as Lisa just said, they may or may not be going to school in the fall. It's sounding like they're not. So there's going to be more of the homeschooling. And I'll be honest with you, I could not be a stay-at-home parent homeschooling. It's just not me. So I totally understand those people.
Yeah. So having that, so it sounds like staying organized is really a good tip. And when you can do that ahead of time before everything is chaotic, like right now it's summertime. So hopefully, if this is you, if someone out there is listening and you're like, oh yeah, that's going to be me in the fall, you have some time right now to think, okay, what kind of schedule can we have? You can talk to your kids about that and the rest of the family about how you can organize. So I love that tip. Get organized. What's your second tip?
Well, another one that I have trouble with, it's exercise. I don't have trouble with getting on my bicycle and bike riding or taking a walk, hiking. I love that. But exercise is so important for the endorphins. And I have kind of boring exercise I have to do at my age, but it's very important for your entire family. Don't be tempted to even be sitting at your desk or watching all those movies that we've all been watching. You need to get out and exercise, because the endorphins are actually known as happy hormones. And believe me, if you are a stay-at-home parent, whether you've planned that all along or this is new to you, you need happy hormones to keep going.
Yeah, there's a podcast that I listen to, and he always talks about, like, if you're feeling a certain way, maybe you're having some feelings that are, less than ideal. He's like, first question he's going to ask his kids, or the person, have you exercised lately? Like, have you,
Yep.
and then like, come back to me once you've exercised for, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever. And then let's talk again and just see if that can help get that chemical change in your body.
Exactly. And now with COVID, there's so many opportunities online to do whatever kind of exercise you like. If you want to do yoga, or you want to dance, or you want specific exercises, there's a lot of opportunity online because of COVID.
That's a great point. I had not thought of that. Like, if I ever want to learn how to do belly dancing or something, I could actually do it online.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't do it in public. Just not that I don't judge people for doing it in public. For me, I'd be too embarrassed at this point in my skills.
I understand.
Which are zero. What's your third tip for us?
My third tip is actually keeping a journal. If I hadn't kept a journal, none of my books would have been written.
Oh, wow.
I could go back and I could look at my experience as a stay-at-home mom, or if something had happened during the day, I could write it down. It might be at 10 o'clock at night when the kids are in bed, but the point is, if you can journal, it's very helpful. And I'm sitting here looking at this whole COVID-19 thing that caught us all off guard. I think there are a lot of books out there on how did I survive COVID-19.
Yeah.
And you've got families, you've got individual people. I happen to be a widow, but we all have a story to tell. And the journaling is so helpful. I had one organization that I was in, it was a women's Bible study, and the duty was to write a prayer about each of our children. And the prayer was what we expected them to be when they got older, based on their personalities. And I found that just a few years ago. I've got grown kids. It could make me cry.
Yeah, I can
but
feel it.
Yeah,
oh my God.
that was priceless. And if you journal, you will have priceless memories.
Yeah, that's true. Because otherwise it could just kind of be like day to day to day. And you look back and you go like, I can't even remember what was I doing, or what was I thinking, or what was I experiencing? And you can create something. I mean, even as you said that, I was like, oh, that'd be kind of cool. Like, if you have little kids, you can make, a family journal, or like journaling the art that they do, or the projects, or somehow make it part of the learning of like how you're going to document. I could get really creative with all that, or make up games, or I don't even have little kids. My daughter's 17, but I'm sure I could think of something for her too.
Right.
That's so cool. I love your tips. And so hopefully this has been helpful for you if you're a stay-at-home parent, or you're becoming a stay-at-home parent because of the current situation that we have. And then Jeannie, I have one last bonus question for you.
Yes.
This is a fun question. I don't know about your style of music, but I always ask people if they like, what's one of your favorite rock bands or rock singers?
Okay. We're going to cross some lines here. I should Google it. I have been listening to millennial music.
Ooh, wow.
I loved it when it was out and on the radio, but now millennials are actually my target market, and I love the beat. It should be rock and roll, and it should be, the Four Tops. They were actually at my graduation.
Ooh, wow.
At our prom. But no, I like the millennial stuff.
Like what kind of music? Like what's Post Malone?
I have to turn Google on and listen to see what it is. I do not know the names of it. I just listen to it. It's a radio station with millennial music.
Oh, that's so great. I love that. Okay, cool. Well, we'll stay tuned for more hits from Jeanne Gormick. Oh, thanks for sharing. I love all your flexibility and ability to kind of relate to all different kinds of situations. And thank you for being on our show. Meanwhile, and how do people get a hold of you?
I think the easiest and fastest way, spell my name. It's Jeanne, and last name is Gormick, Gormick. You can either hashtag that, or my website is www.jeannegormick.com. And I've got blogs, I've got all kinds of things on there.
Wonderful. And do you want to just hold up your book really quick? I know you have a...
I will do that.
So
There
people
you
can
go.
see
And
how
see, there's the Jeanne Gormick again.
you really can't afford stay-at-home parenthood. Wonderful. So there's all kinds of ideas there for people. You can get that. And is that available on Amazon?
It is.
Okay, cool. See, there you go. So lots of bonus stuff for all of you today. Thank you, Jeanne, for being on our show. And yeah, for all of you listening, make sure you do something kind to yourself and of course to somebody else today. And we will see you on the next episode. Make sure you subscribe so that you can continue getting all these expert tips from us. And we'll see you later. Bye.
Bye-bye.